Hey there, I thought I would introduce you to someone today. I'm out here in my farmyard and I've been taking horses individually for their walks to get some exercise and just alone time with me and building their confidence and courage away from the others, because you know they always call for each other and that gets to be silly if you don't teach them it's okay to be apart, and also to get some grass time because we've moved to this farm a year ago, and last fall we pounded our posts, but we didn't get a chance to put our barbed wire up. So we've created paddocks, but they're not containing the animals yet. So none of the animals are out on pasture. Here we are in towards the end of May and starting to get a little bit critical. But anyway, we're working with it. Hubby's going to be free come next week to be able to help me get those paddocks going, and then the horses can be on pasture. But I've got somebody I want to introduce to you today. This is Mr. Simon. Simon is a new horse to our family and to our farm. I acquired him about a month and a half ago, and Simon was a project. He's a really nice horse. I really love his temperament. He's very sensible and kind and friendly and just reliable, which is what you want in your family horse. And but Simon came to me with definitely some health challenges. He had severe rain rot. I don't know if they had a blanket on him or what was going on, but all his shoulders and his flanks on both sides of his body were just a mess. Scabby and missing hair, and ugh, it was awful. And then his feet were a mess too. So he had shoes on all 4 feet, and I don't know if I can see them now. We've pulled the front shoes off. One of his hind shoes blew off the other day, so I'm just waiting for the farrier to come and pull off the other one and give him a proper setup trim. But these feet were really quite a disaster, and the man that I acquired him from said, "Oh, this horse needs shoes on because his feet will chip if you don't have shoes." And that's a bit of an archaic way of thinking in today's day and age when we have better knowledge about things. Sorry to say, but the cowboy way is not always the best way. This is a horse that needs good nutrition and regular trimming, and you know that does a whole lot. And I've seen horses recover their feet in good order. It takes about 8 to 10 months to grow back a full hoof, so this is not going to happen for me overnight. But we've pulled the front shoes about 5 weeks ago, and I've been filing in between, and we're already growing out the cracks and the awful flares and things that were happening on his feet, and also using some really good essential oils to keep away thrush, because obviously you don't want to have that going on the underside of their foot and in their frog. And just building good hoof wall, which is part of the problem, is that he hasn't had good nutrition. So this is a horse that was kicked out on winter pasture in southern Alberta for probably 6 months of the year. And what does that mean? That means they're pawing all winter, which is not a bad thing for movement and exercise, but he didn't have any individual supplementation for the things he was lacking. So no minerals, no anything that was definitely missing in his diet, and that always comes out in the hooves. So his hooves were chipping, and of course without regular care you have to trim at least every 6 weeks to make sure that you know, these horses that aren't wild are getting the proper all the flares and all the cracks and everything are dealt with, or else they become a bigger problem. And that's what happened with him. So he had shoes slapped on him, and then a bunch of epoxy to fill in the gapping parts, and oh, what a mess. So we're working on that. We're getting there. But you know, I put together, when I first got him, the immediate need, obviously beyond his feet, was getting his coat back on track, his hide. And I made a silver sol, apple cider vinegar and essential oils spray that was beneficial to the skin and also infection fighting, because he had scabby things going on there. And honestly, within 3 sprays, like 3 different days, his hair started growing back. And I'd have to show you pictures. He was quite a mess. But look at that guy. You would never know that a month and a half ago, this coat, these flanks were so awful. I mean, he's looking wonderful. And if I was to brush him out right now and get some of the dust out, because he likes to roll, you'd see how shiny he is now. And part of that too is, I mean, I've got him on fantastic supplementation and herbs and oils and camelina oil, diatomaceous earth and kelp and mad barn. I've just kind of thrown the book at him. And when I first got him, you know, every new horse I've ever gotten, and I've been doing this supplementation with all my horses for quite a number of years now, they always turn their nose up at the supplements that I give them in the beginning, because they're just not used to it. They think it's weird, it tastes funny. This isn't oats, you know, and they're just like, not doing it, sorry, not gonna happen. And Simon was particularly stubborn. He would not even give it a try for the first at least 10 days. I was getting a little worried because I thought, how am I gonna get this guy to grow stronger feet, better hooves, thicker hoof walls, if he's not going to take what I give him? Because that's what he needs. He needs good nutrition. He needs to balance his gut. He needs to build a better coat, all the things, right? Anyway, so one day I decided to give it to him a little drier, because I make a bit of a mash out of beet pulp and such. And he gave it a nibble. And then that was the beginning of him starting to realize that his body craved it. And well, we're a month and a half in now, and he is scarfing his supplements. Like, he sees me coming, or hears me actually even in the supplement shed messing around with the pails, and he's got his nose in the window. He loves it. He's like, okay, my turn. So it's pretty exciting to see this transformation, and we're already seeing that of course his coat is getting glossy, he's a little more peppy and bright-eyed, and his feet are growing in nice. And this is something that's going to take time, about 8 to 10 months to grow these good feet. But I'm patient. I know what to do. I know how to get these animals back on track. And just like people, they need to be well tended to. And God's creation is the number one thing that does that. So we're employing God's creation in the form of these oils and herbs and supplements and all the goodness that He has at our disposal. It's just wonderful to be able to offer this to my animals too, not just my family. So, Mr. Simon, I know, we got about 5 more minutes and I got to put you back. Farrier's coming today to pull the other shoe, because one in the hind blew off. We pulled the fronts about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but the hinds were in too rough a shape to do that yet, so we had to grow them a bit more. But I think in his running around the other day, he blew a shoe, and so we got to fix that, because that makes him walk pretty uneven, and it can't be good for his body. So anyway, I'm going to go make some lunch for my grandbabies. I got 3 grandbabies here this weekend, and they joined me with my milking of my little cow this morning. They were pretty awesome. They were very excited about being part of that little process. And maybe I'll put them on a horsey later this afternoon. We'll see. I've got to go do a dump run and a greenhouse run today, so got lots going on. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you, and just thank you for joining me in the journey. That's been pretty exciting to be able to share this with you finally. Okay, God bless you all. We'll talk to you soon.